Hello, hello, hello. It is your girl, Kane the Gang. And in the meantime and in between time, I'm coming to you with another video. I got my little baby in my hand. She don't know how to leave my sight. This was a really impact episode. I can see why they called it Striking a Balance, because it brought some character out, didn't it? And along with some lessons. I've seen plenty of things that people should know that they need to work on, right? Okay, it was a lot in this episode, so let's get started. Even though the show started out with Alyssa and Chris, Alyssa and Chris, I'm gonna start with Steve and Annoy. Stephen and Annoy. I guess their interaction was shocking. You didn't expect their situation to be so immature, but it went down. So, earlier in the episode, Steve and Noi discussed how she was really troubled by him not having a job and how that affected her and what she went through as, a kid and what she doesn't like about, not working and being stable and this and that. So, I think, she kind of interject like, hey, he kind of tried to explain his strategy of not having a job and how he does take care of himself. He does have a savings, which you got to have common sense to know this guy just ain't living off the land. You got to have money. I don't care if it's even government assistance. You can't just live off the land and have absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because gas costs, just, you got to have something saved. You got to have something tucked away. Whether it's unemployment, you have something going on. Okay. So, excuse me. But she asked a question like, I understand you have all this preparation that you're trying to do, but where do I fit in that? And I think that should have gave him an opportunity to explain where she fits in. He did say that he's trying to do some things for them, but it didn't explain enough of what that was to really would have made me feel comfortable as a woman to understand the overall goal. He basically said, well, I take care of myself and I have savings and I provide for me. It turned into a me conversation. So I don't think he really understood how that was discomforting just a little bit, So for me, I was like, you went to a me conversation. So later on down after they've had like the party, the friends, because this was also where they meet friends and friends gather and they interact and play games with their friends, or they just get advice with friends or whatever. So all of that's over and done with. They're at home, they're cooking. Well, she's cooking. And basically, she was only cooking herself something. And he thought, oh wow, we eat two different noodles, but she could have put mine on the stove and she didn't. So he came in and, he mentioned it, but he did it in a loving way. Like, oh, wow, you didn't put my noodles on, but he put his own noodles on. She got hers off. She wasn't watching his. And that is a sign of either you are selfish or something is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he took it as much as I would have too, but she let his noodles get soggy and he just mentioned it. She got so annoyed, she walked out for the whole night. And I loved the way Steven handled it. He did the appropriate thing. He called her, tried to talk to her, see what the dealio is, and she was just not having it. She was like, I'm mad, I don't want to talk. And for me, when she got back in the morning, I love the way Steve stuck it to her. Get down, baby. Oh, my baby. She's always all over me. So, let me see. I had this. I think it's been on pause too long. But I felt like Steve, he came to her very mature. Like, I felt like Noi was being very, very immature, and she was showing her true colors. She was showing her colors to the point where I would have been uncomfortable. I would have seen that maybe this isn't for me, because the way she did what she did was just, you know how I said last episode she was asinine about the dog? It's almost like unmovable. Like, she doesn't understand how certain things are detrimental to their relationship. And it's like, even though he explained it to her, and I'm going to bring it up in a minute because I love the analogy that he brought to the table, and she act like still annoyed, like she still don't care, she don't get it, and but she said a lot without saying enough. Like, you could tell she wasn't communicating to the point how she really felt. To me, her not cooking his noodles, not watching his noodles, and saying, "Look, Negro, I'm already unhappy. You don't have a job." Women, when men don't have a job, we think, no, not all of us. If I seen that he had a plan, and I seen that he's basically carrying himself the way that he is, I'm going to think more positive before I think negative. He hasn't given her a reason to think negative about him and what he got going until he messes up. And I get, she said that. He hasn't shown her anything. But it's only been 12 days, you know what I'm saying? It's only been, a little over 2 weeks. He doesn't have time to show you something. But don't go to the negative before you can see the positive. People got to know how to support somebody, because this is not your boyfriend anymore. This is your husband. So now you got to think on a wife level. And I think that people today, while relationships go so wrong, is they don't think on a relationship level. They don't think on a commitment level. You only see the ordinary. Like, having a job is not the only way to make it. Steven seems smart enough to understand he don't want to work all his life, and he wants to. Have you ever seen people who pretty much retire at 40? These people have learned how to flip the game. And that may be Steven. He may be smart enough to understand that, look, I don't want to work all my life. It seems like Noi is fine with working until she's 65. Steven may have it figured out that, hey, we don't have to work past 45, and we can travel and do all the things that I would like to see us do as two people, a couple, or whatever. And I just think that, get to know your partner, even though you're married, though. And so, people don't see love like this. If we were just in a cardboard box together, as long as we got each other, I'm in love. That's not enough for people. And sometimes you got to put away all the stuff that America floods you with as a distraction for the real core things. And that's finding love and finding someone that you guys can depend on one another. This guy's not stupid. She's treating him a little bit like he's stupid and he's worthless. She's coming across like she's better than him, and by not watching his noodles said volumes. It says, I am not about to be your maid. I'm not about to be doing this and that. You don't even have a job. I am not about to waste my time like that. And I'm trying to wait for this to come on because I really like the way he handled himself. And let's get into it. I want you to just hear some of what he had to say, because he really laid it out on the line. So let's listen to it.
So, are you ready to talk?
I know. Last night I went back to my own apartment, and I haven't spoken to him yet because I'm still trying to process what I want to do about the situation. I know that we need to have a conversation, but I just don't want to say anything that I can't take back.
And I respect that. I respect
I didn't know what was wrong when you walked out. I had to guess that you were upset about something, and I put it together that it was the whole cooking thing. But for me, I basically have done a whole 24 hours, and I haven't even gotten a chance to really say how I feel. Can't really just leave me hanging. We're married. This isn't like, oh, you're upset, I'm upset, I can walk out. I mean, I woke up this morning, and I was expecting at least a text or anything. Instead, I just get this social media post that's kind of ambiguous, but at the same time, it seems pretty directed at me. Like, was that in reference to what happened?
Yeah.
I go on social media, and it's just a quote. Learning to say, nah, this just isn't good enough will enhance your life greatly. You're allowed to say, this is simply not enough for me. You're allowed to have a vision for yourself, your life, your relationships, and refuse to settle for anything less. Say no often.
That was like the first time that I had ever coached.
Okay, so for me, what she wrote on that post didn't match anything that happened. And that lets you know that her thoughts and her anger went deeper than the surface of what he felt was she's mad over noodles. She's mad over something else. And she's being childish by not coming out with it. But to me, I hate misleading things like that. You're letting the world know that this is going on and you're not telling him anything. That's so disrespectful on so many levels. It doesn't even give him or them the chance to repair their situation without letting the world know what's going on in there. And a lot of people don't know how to be team players. They don't know what unity means. They don't know, if a house is divided, it's going to fall. And that's just what it is. You cannot do things so separately all the time when you're in a committed setting. It just doesn't work. And so, Noi rubbed me the wrong way. She is very asinine. She thinks alone. She thinks one. I know that she believes that she's ready for marriage, but I just don't see it. I don't see her ready for marriage. She thinks one, and she thinks that he should think of them I think they're alike. All of these couples are really put together very well because they all are alike at the end of the day. He, in the beginning of the conversation, when she said, I don't see where we fit in this situation, he said, well, I have my savings and I take care of myself. He put an I situation in a team situation now. And I think that she flipped it and she did the same thing with this particular situation. And he addressed it the way that he should have and brought it to the table and explained it like a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old the way that he should have. And he let her know just how it made him feel, just what, they should have did. And she kind of called him out and said, I can't handle things the way that you handle things. And he said, look, my baby, she don't play, boy. She see me on this phone and I'm talking and I am taking up her time with her. Get down, baby. Get down. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh Lord. Forgive her. She is having a moment. Oh my goodness. Come on. She don't want to get down. Oh, girl. Ugh. Okay, sorry about that. And then she's going to jump back up on me because she's feeling alone. I'm abandoning her. I'm not paying her no attention. Having a baby puppy is like she ain't a baby puppy, she's one. But having a dog is like having a child, okay? But anyway, Noi just acts as if she doesn't get it. And that for me is a huge problem. I think he got a taste of his medicine with the whole comment that he made prior, but I think Noi took it to a level, and she doesn't know how to communicate. She doesn't know how to, say the things that she needs to say to get on the same page, and so that this can flow a lot better. They are a good couple together, and I hope she doesn't ruin it with the little stubbornness that she has about herself. One thing, they had went bowling with the other couples. Oh goodness. They went bowling with the other couples, and she had the nerve to say that she was still upset about the disagreement that they had prior. And I'm thinking to myself, really, she doesn't understand. She owed him an apology in my sight, because you left the scene and you left for a whole night and you went back to your apartment and you slept. You guys are married. You don't get to do that. Even though this is an experiment, no, this is a commitment right now. You have 8 weeks of a committed relationship to someone, as not as if you're married, you are married. And so you can't do things like that. So I was real disappointed, annoyed, but I was really, really, I was proud of Steven, the way he handled it, and he just let it be known, it's not just you, it's me too. And we're in this together, and my family is on your social media. You can't just be posting stuff like that. Now they're going to be asking me what happened, and I'm going to have to say, I told her how to cook noodles. And, she was sitting there like she wanted to shrug her shoulder, like, so what? And that just annoyed me, and it told me she's not ready. She's not ready. A lot of people think they're nice and kind until they get into a situation, and then, it just shows how much work you need to do. But really, to be honest, when you're by yourself, you can't really do the work because you don't know what you're doing wrong. When you're by yourself, everything you do seems right into your sight. So you can't really grow. You need to know how to give and take. And I just want to see through the rest of this process, can she give and take, and can she grow, and can she get, can they move on from this and to a middle ground where they're going to be able to stay married and make it? Because this move right here, along with the dog to me was the first sign that we're not going to jail, because you are adamant about this dog sleeping with you, not sleeping anywhere else, but sleeping in the bed. And that's unrealistic. You're leaving him out of every decision to me. You're not really thinking about how he feels about a dog sleeping with you. You cannot do that. And when I seen her unfolding and non-bending over just the dog, I knew. And now she could care less how he felt about her anger, because she's not speaking up and she's holding it in because she don't want to say the wrong thing that she can't take back. That's not maturity. Say the things that you need to and learn how to use your words. People are so used to using their words to hurt other people that they don't know how to speak kindly. And I was glad that he brought up healthy communication, healthy conversations. Right. Learn how to have healthy communication, because he broke it down. So we're going to move on. I'm going to go ahead and get to Mark and Lindsay, because Mark and Lindsay, their whole situation at the bowling alley. I know some people might be shocked because I'm going in on Mark. I'm sorry. Mark did the absolute wrong thing to me. He took it to a place where I felt like he shouldn't have taken it. And I'm not a kiss butt, but he obviously is. And this is, to me, where he went wrong. So let's see if we can get this in. Okay, I don't want to play that just yet, because, I want to talk about Alyssa and Chris a little later, which I'm so glad their little portion of the show is over, because that was becoming too much. I was just sick of Alyssa, not so much Chris. Chris is a great guy, and he didn't deserve what he got, but, life ain't perfect, and it is what it is, but I am glad it is over. we don't have to be tortured watching this girl just blatantly lie on this guy. And that was pretty much the extent of that, pretty much. So let's see. Let's go to this bowling alley scene and let's get it cracking. Okay, let's go back a little bit. And I'm going to let this set itself up. Okay, so we're on a commercial. So this is the scene. All the couples go to the bowling alley, right? And they're having fun. And I'm going to let this scene show. And then I'm going to break it down because, I have an old saying that when people don't like you, they think they have the right to disrespect you. And I get that Katina and Lindsay have had oppositions, but that doesn't mean you get to continue to disrespect me because you don't like me. I met, Lindsay, I'm going to take up for her just a little bit because, I hate people, especially grown people, that pick on other adults like we're all in elementary, and people don't think they understand how they line up and start becoming the majority to pick on this one person because she doesn't do things that fit into everybody's norm. And I hate that pick on me kind of stuff because we're adults. I need to learn to let you be you. And, even if I don't like what you're saying, and I think you're a little awkward and what you're saying is a little off base, I don't have the right to treat you like you ain't nobody or to treat you like you're irrelevant or what you're saying doesn't matter. I am grown enough to know to respect you. And if I don't have to rock with you, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get to disrespect you because I think what you're saying is so irrelevant and off the wall. If you feel like that about somebody, pull them to the side and address them. If you think it's going to lead to a problem or fighting or getting into it because you addressed them and told them about themselves, then save it. But just, you don't have to, don't be around that person. Don't deal with them. I know that this is a show setting. So, you have to deal with the situation accordingly, but be mature. Katina rolling her eyes and letting somebody know what she don't like is immature. And it's starting mess. And so I didn't like the way Mark handled it. And then he was talking about, if you're going to act like this toward Lindsay, I haven't gotten into it because I want the television to kind of show what happened. I was proud of Lindsay a little bit. I felt like Lindsay did no wrong. And I don't know too many women who wouldn't have confronted Katina in the same way. Like, why? We're on the Johnny on the spot. Why are you rolling your eyes? Because that's pretty bold for you to roll your eyes and disrespect and offend me. And I'm supposed to shut up and accept it. No, Mark. No, Mark. And then for Chris to chime in, it's again, everybody gets to jump on Lindsay because they think Lindsay is a bit much. But that's not enough for me to say, well, okay, it's good enough for her to be disrespected because nobody likes her. That's that pick on me crap that, you can watch a movie like Mean Girls and see the people being mean and how mean it is. But why do people in real life don't detect their meanness? Because Jasmina, she jumped in a little bit, and so did my dog. Jasmina was a little snippy, and Katina was just downright disrespectful. And I just feel like, catch yourself. Oh, what's the matter? Oh my goodness, my baby. Stop it. So stop it. Let me see if I can speed this up. I like these new TVs that, alright. The shift that you're holding me, and I didn't like the way you spoke to her like that. With who? Katina? Let me start it over. Because my dog was in the way. Oh my God. And she still is not quitting. Here we go.
Elizabeth, you can't just go to Greece
Oh my God, no. They doing too much with this commercial. Okay.
Mark, what's up, Jared? You just your whole demeanor.
I don't like the way you like smoke like that with her. Jared, you like, why are you rolling your eyes?
Oh, so bad.
You shouldn't have said that. It's awkward. I feel awkward when you do that.
Okay. So, he asked her, hold on. Sorry. He asked her, why did you roll your eyes? Which really upset me because he acted more concerned with Katina than he did with his own wife. He was like, that's going to make her upset. Like, who cares about her getting upset? Like, this is what I really had a problem with. We are a team. And he brought that up, right? You brought the fact up that we're a team. So when she disrespects me, she disrespected you. If she has so much respect for you, Mark, why did she disrespect me and feel okay to do so? And what I didn't like is Mark is really trying to be Mr. Good Guy and trying to show that he's better than Lindsay. And he doesn't get down like that when Lindsay had every right to confront Katina for being immature. Now, maybe she could have worded it different instead of bluntly coming out with, why you rolling your eyes. She could have said, hey, I know, Katina, you don't like me and we've had our differences. And if I've done anything to you, let's talk about it so we can get over or resolve whatever the situation is. But why did you just roll your eyes at me just right? I don't think anything is wrong with that because why not call Katina out? She's being immature. She's definitely being immature. And the inappropriate thing that Katina claimed that Lindsay said or engaged in conversation, right after she was done saying all of that, so did Katina. She did the same thing. She brought up the fact that Elijah Wan's bathroom issue. That's just as out of line and out of inappropriate conversation as what Lindsay said. The difference is everybody likes Katina and nobody likes Lindsay. And that's not a reason to mistreat somebody and everybody be on board because Lindsay has a mouth. Lindsay has the right to feel comfortable in that setting and express herself as anybody else there. And I don't think that people see themselves on how they're treating Katina. And because everybody gets it that nobody likes Lindsay, Lindsay is still a person and she does not deserve to be mistreated. She doesn't deserve to be belittled. She doesn't deserve any of that. And so for that, I'm disappointed at Mark for taking up for me, that would have been it. I wouldn't have been able to rock with him, trying to chastise me. First of all, bro, I'm your wife. You don't chastise me in front of everyone. You either in the car ride, first of all, you back me. Right or wrong, you have my back. You didn't see Elijah Wan going off on Katina. He slightly said a little like, hey, don't let her get you wound up or whatever he said to her. But he said it on the low. He didn't blast her in front of the entire bowling alley, loud talking her and belittling her. That is exactly what Mark did. He just blasted it in front of everyone and let it hit. He's trying to please the other people when this is your wife. You're not acting like the role of a husband. You're acting like the role of somebody definitely who's trying to get to know somebody. But my sir, you are already married. This is not your girlfriend. So I like when when Lindsay said, who are you here for? And he tried to, say what he said, but it didn't line up to facts. To me, you are here for me. Back me right or wrong. Have that talk with me on the car ride home or when we get home or even pull me in the hallway and say your piece. But don't belittle me in front of everybody and let people see the discord between us. That right there. And then when she brought up the fact, let's go back to it because I thought what Lindsay said after that was okay. Hold on. Well, this phone, it does what it want to do. Okay.
Like, why are you rolling your eyes?
Oh, so dad.
You shouldn't have said that. Like, it's awkward. I feel awkward when you do that.
Okay, so you don't think that this woman making eyes and rolling her eyes?
Given your history, you shouldn't say anything.
He said, given the history,
That's why I said don't do
you
it.
shouldn't have said
Okay,
anything.
what did I do that upset you? You literally watch this woman act like a child and roll her eyes and defy me.
Okay, I like what she said. What did I do to upset you? You know, he's taking it personal that she got upset that this woman disrespected her. And I don't understand, where did he feel like it did something to him to strike out at her? It just, keep going. Hold on.
Like, why are you rolling your eyes?
Oh, so dad.
You shouldn't have said that. Like, it's awkward. I feel awkward when you do that.
Okay, so you don't think that this woman making eyes and rolling her eyes?
Given your history, you shouldn't say anything. It's
Okay, well, Mark, who are you here for?
You. That's why I said don't do it.
Okay, what did I do that upset you? You literally watch this woman act like a child and roll her eyes and defy me.
And then you kind of jump in and say, what are you
I
rolling your eyes
said,
for?
yeah, why are you rolling your eyes?
Right, because you know that's literally gonna do. That tone's gonna piss her off, and you piss her off.
Now, okay. Did you hear what he said? That tone is going to piss her off. Like, he's so worried about Katina getting pissed off and not Lindsay's feelings getting hurt. Now, Mark, you're in the wrong. As a husband, you should be offended with your wife that someone is attacking her like that. Like, I'm not in agreement with Mark on no level. He was out of line. He was doing a bad thing as a husband. And, you know, he has beef with Lindsay. And he needs to come out and say it, because he's now attacking her on the low. And for me, it's just harsh. You know, you can't be doing stuff like that. He needs to get whatever it is off his chest so he can respect and treat her the way she wants to be treated. Lindsay is the way that she is because a lot of people attack her and she feels like she has to defend herself all the time. That's why, well, I'm not giving her any real excuse, because she does need to fix her mouth. The things that came out of her mouth afterwards, I am going to lay into her, because she has to do better. If she wants to have long-lasting, meaningful relationships, she cannot go on attack mode that she did. But let's continue to watch real quick. And
Literally watch this woman act like a child and roll her eyes and defy me.
And then you kind of jump in and say, what are you
I
rolling your eyes
said,
for?
yeah, why are you rolling your eyes?
Right, because you know that's literally gonna do. That tone's gonna piss her off, and you piss her off.
I don't care. She's gonna get pissed off based on her
Hey,
eyes.
when I tell you when we're together,
right, she was already pissed off on.
Okay, so this is a team. If you can't get that, this is gonna work.
No, but you know what? I'm being here for you as a team during all your chaos.
And
I'm not a team for you when I put my hazmat suit on and give up a day of work. I don't think you got that.
okay, so let's be clear. Let's be clear. Just on a note, she is being a team player. And I think Mark is trying to play better than her in this scene. I think he's trying to act like he's on the high road and he's not where she's at, you know, as far as personality. But what he doesn't realize is you might be calm, cool, and collected, but your life is messy. You are homeless. You have nowhere to go after this. And another thing that shocked me that I said, you know, some people get caught up in titles, and it's just like, okay. So here you have her helping him. He said she made my mother a doctor's appointment after he hasn't made his mom a doctor's appointment in a year. And so when you think of, oh, I care for my mom and my grandmother, you think, oh, he's so kind. He's a caregiver. Obviously, he's not doing his job even on that. It's been a whole year since your mother's seen a doctor. Old people got to go at least every 6 months, if not more. But at least every 6 months, an older person needs to be at the doctor's, okay? For your mother not to have had an appointment for a whole entire year speaks volumes how Mark is messy and he's not about business. And Lindsay laid into him about that. Now again, Lindsay went way too far with how she handled this situation. I'm not saying she was right on any level. She needs to understand if this doesn't work, it will be her fault. Her mouth is. She's too emotional. She's too disrespectful, and she doesn't know how to tone it down. I know hurt people, and she's been hurt, but this is something she needs to either fix by going to therapy and getting some help to help her with her emotion, her rage, and her anger, because she's out of control. Even though everything she said I was in agreement with, I was understanding, even when she said your roach infested home. Let's continue to watch how she unraveled. I think it speaks volumes, but it puts it on the line for me.
No, we're talking about right now. You're asking what it's doing. That's what I thought. Walk away. Call your mom, see if she can let you in tonight.
The insults. The insults is like crazy.
She can't let things go sometimes. She can't bury the hatchet on something.
I don't think she should have let that go. I don't think she shouldn't have said what she needed to say to Katina. And I think that's wrong for him to expect for her to let that go. He's being unrealistic at this point. And Chris, I didn't like Chris's input. Yeah, know when to fight your battles. Chris, you just went through a whirlwind of being pooped on. Don't tell someone how to handle their hurt when, this is why I hate when grown-ups get together and they do that pick on one person bull crap. I hate it because you're worse than little kids. Little kids can be mean, but so can adults.
You're not a strong man and you can't speak up right now. Your life is a crisis. But I am accepting you for all your flaws. And not once are you congratulating or thanking me. I mean, real talk, you make $60,000 a year selling gym memberships. Okay, simmer down. All right, little boy, let me teach you how to be a big badass bitch.
She's just childish. And that's just what it is. She's childish. She's, it's not worth. Can I be honest? These two could repair their situation easy. And I'm going to tell you how. All Lindsay needs is someone to care for her. I said that before, and I see right through Lindsay. Lindsay is soft. She's the kind of person that will have your back times 10. She will walk through the wire with you, and she won't let you down. That is Lindsay. She just needs to know that you accept her for her and have her back in the long haul. She can, look, people like her because she's sensitive. Most people that have a hard exterior, I'm that person too. Most people who have a hard exterior are very sensitive. So, but if you gain her respect, it will be very hard for her to go against you in a disrespectful way. Because she has so much respect. People she have respect for, it's hard for her. But a lot of people just generally don't like her because she's off-putting. And they don't get around it. The people that are her friend, they're probably her friend for the wrong reasons. They laugh at Lindsay. They don't tell Lindsay the truth. They just laugh at her and not with her. And that's the friends that she has around her. She doesn't have solid people she can trust. Everybody probably around Lindsay is the kind of people that could walk out of her life easily. And she sees them as friends, but not really. Because if so, she would be better prepared in her character. She would be more well-rounded in her character. She's loose as a goose. And that tells me that she doesn't have people that love her around her. Because she would be able to know how to act accordingly. And she doesn't. She doesn't get it. She doesn't see it. She's just so hurt. And she's in defense mode all the time. If he was to back her up and treat her like a man, instead of being scared to tell her something, don't be scared to tell her nothing. Boss up. You a man. Now, you in this experience already. So you already married. Boss up like a man and handle her. That's what she needs. She needs a man who can handle her. Sometimes women can't get in their place if they don't have a man strong enough to help them get there in their place. He has a wonderful person by his side. He's not going to find too many Lindsays. One thing about life, we don't get that overall packaged person. It's always going to be one flaw that comes with them that can you deal with it? Really. You're not going to get that perfect man or woman that you want in life. You'll get, say you get 90% of what you're looking for, and it's that 10% that is so annoying. Can you look over that to get the other part of what you want from that person? And that's what Mark has. And that's what Lindsay has. They're both, they're just alike in their situation, just the opposite. Like I said, her mouth is reckless and she's all over the place, but her life is together. He is calm, cool, collective, but his life is in shambles. And they need to know how to reverse that, fix it, and help one another instead of attacking each other. He's too busy, Mark is too busy being upset with her, and he's throwing darts at her. He's trying to play better than her, but dude, you don't have that kind of room to be better than anybody. Your life is hell. And you are in no place to be pointing your finger at nobody. So, when it came to Mark, I was devastated and so upset. I didn't know how to handle myself because, look at this baby. Because he took me away from here. It was devastating. I couldn't deal. But okay, so here nor there. Let's move on. I'm hoping next episode, I'm gonna be honest. All the things Katina said, you just can't take that stuff back. How can you get romantic with someone after that? That's that mental abusive stuff. I couldn't lay down with her after that. It's not that I couldn't forgive or forget her, but you're going to do it again because that's your pattern. Your pattern is hurting people with your words. Your pattern is not knowing how to have a healthy conversation, or we go through a healthy fight. There's good fights. There's ways to fight righteously in a good way. We're not having good fights to face each other tomorrow. So for me, I don't know where this is going, but it doesn't look good for these two. So moving on to, let's get Alyssa and Chris out the way, because Chris, he made me mad by putting his 2 cents in. You just went through a whirlwind, my boy. Like, how don't you see, it's hard not to say something when someone is hurting you. That blew me away with Chris. And they think they're right by just beating Lindsay down. And not cool. So let's get to Alyssa. Alyssa, the show started out with her putting on her makeup, being single again. And then she meets, I don't even get the woman's name, but she meets with some woman and they're having a conversation about her experience. And again, Lindsay is lying and shifting the narrative to her direction to make it look like it's him. I'm a good person. And, we so tired of hearing I'm a good person at this point in time. It's like, girl, get over yourself. But the friend, I'm glad she had enough sense, because usually people, again, that majority rules, like the person who tells you all the bad news first is the person most people believe. But the friend had enough sense to say, he sounds like, basically he sounds a mess. But because I didn't hear his side of the story, I really don't know, and my thoughts are up in the air. She at least gave Chris the benefit of the doubt without meeting him. She's going off of what Alyssa said, but like she said, she's awfully hard on this guy. Like, See, Alyssa think people ain't gonna be able to put two and two together and sniff her out of the situation, and then she forgets it's film. But now we know what she gonna do as far as the film. They made me look like a monster. They edited. We already know where that's gonna go. She's not gonna take any responsibility, and what she's going to do is, in her real life, is make people really strongly dislike her and want to disrespect her and have no more faith in her because she's phony. And who likes a phony person? They got to really love you to put up with your phonyism. You know how some people know how Bill is? Oh, that's just Bill being Bill. And Bill's a butthole. Yeah, that they got to already love you and know so much about you to where they've accepted you already. But really, it could turn people off, and they may accept you, but not for the real things, for the superficial things like, oh yeah, let's get her to play this game. Like I had a girl, I thought we were friends at work. I thought we were cool. I had won some comedy tickets, 4 tickets, and I didn't have friends. So I was trying to find 4 people to go with me to this comedy club. So I thought me and her was cool enough. So I asked her, and she was like, she did the laugh like, please, like, she never gave me an answer on going to the comedy club. So I asked her again. And she ignored me. So I said, oh, she don't want to go. Okay, shut it down. Time passes. And she hits me up on Facebook one day. And she needed me to do, to participate in something she had going on at her job. And if she got enough people, she got this bonus or something. So she came to me out of the blue and asked me what I participate so she can get this bonus. And no, I will not participate. And I almost ignored her like she ignored me. But I told her, no, I will not participate. And then I gave an after-school special speech why I won't. If we weren't friends when I just wanted to take you to the comedy club and we have a good time, I can't help you get a promotion because we're not friends. And I had to explain it to her just like that. You can't make me your friend and put me out there and need me when you want me. So, no. And that's how I felt about this situation with, Alyssa and, friends just taking your word. Alyssa's going to lose out on a lot of people. They're not going to believe her, and they're going to put her in that particular category as just being someone when they need you and not a real friend. And that's where I'm going with that. Really back in, kinda. But that's where I'm going with that. They're not going to see you as some authentic real friend that they can really trust and believe in and count on because you're so superficial. You're such a liar. She could have somebody in jail, especially with the tears and stuff. And, if you didn't have a camera to see the truth, she'd have the truth all sewed up for you. I do not like people like that. That's a waste of space in society. Someone who will lie because they can. Not good, not good. So, moving on to Jasmina and Mega, which is my weird couple. These two are so awkward and weird. It's like, Bookie, what are you going through back here? Oh, okay, I get it. Anyway, she just sees somebody want to go off. Anyway, so, Jasmina and Michael, they're, again, my weird little couple. They so awkward, but they are. Didn't her friend Sam, Jasmina's friend, how they all met with somebody and got advice, each of them. Didn't Sam put Jasmina in her place and be honest with her? I liked Sam. Sam didn't hold back. Sam was putting it in place where it should have been, and she did not hold back on her, did she? She let her know, Sam, she let her know, Jasmina, when she was explaining how he thinks he's right and this and that, she was like, that sounds just like you. And she was kind of taken back. Like, she's like, we've been friends for this many years. I know you. And I liked how Sam didn't hold back. And she said, well, I'm usually always right. And Sam kind of put her head down like, girl, if you only knew, you not. But she didn't say much, but she just gave her that look like, I'm being your friend and being honest with you, and I don't think Jasmina was ready for that, but she needed to hear that in that setting to kind of make her reel it back in and calm down and understand how to evaluate herself. Because sometimes when we think we're right, we don't know how to evaluate ourselves. We don't know how to let things go. And I just found that refreshing to see Jasmina be put in her place. I like Jasmina because I think she looks like a very beautiful chocolate princess. Her hair is beautiful. Her skin is flawless. I think Jasmina is beautiful. And I think her and Michael, they do fit. They just got to learn how to make the situation smooth for one another. It was good to see them not get into it this episode and kind of see them coming together, being able to laugh. But I'm telling you, Jasmina and Michael are weird. Somebody's like, why is she saying it? Because it's true. They're an awkward couple, but they're awkward good together. I see why the experts put them together. They are awkward together, and they don't realize how much they belong together. They argue because they're competitive, and each person wants to be right, and they just want to be right. Each of them. When he lost, he was a sore loser. It showed that now winning doesn't matter, which is lies, But they're going to have to find their balance, and they could make it. I can see them going longevity with one another because they have a lot in common, and they're just awkward together. But they're a good awkward. When you get someone who's weird and you're weird and y'all are weird together, but it's a good energy, there it is. And I still think that they have good energy together. They just got to know how to get over themselves. And I think, the questions that Michael had for his sister, it's like, is he a newbie at dating? Does he not date that much? Because the questions he asks is like someone who's lost as far as dating women. He just really don't know how to do it because he's asking questions like he's brand new at it. And so for me, I was like, I didn't know what to think, So I just tried to I don't know with these two. I just tried to think the best for them because they are they're so awkward. It's really they're like a puzzle. You can't put the pieces together yet to really know where these two are going. So we got to rely on the rest of the process to kind of let us know by the end where this may go. So let's just keep watching Jasmina and Michael. Definitely Lifetime Wednesdays, 7:00. Okay, because these two, I don't know, but moving right along to my favorite couple a little bit. I still don't like Katina like that. So let me get that out the way. She's growing on me, but Katina still is a problem to me because Katina is a mean girl. And I hate girls that are pretty and have that pretty privilege and really use it to be a mean girl. I hate it. But Katina comes across as an airhead who has relied on being pretty so long that she doesn't know anything. I think Olajuwon, his true colors are starting to come out, but he's getting alarmed. Like, is this woman the woman for me? I mean, she's a little, I think it rubbed him the wrong way when she didn't know how to go grocery shopping. And he's like me. Okay, this may be new to her, but that's common sense though. If it's more than one person in the house, if you eat this, get two instead of one. Like, if you get a box of cereal, get me a box of cereal. You start there if you don't know how to shop for more than one person. You know what I'm saying? Get bread, get milk, get things that we need. What did we just cook? Did we make eggs? You know what I'm saying? He said she was gone for 2 hours and came back with bread, and that made him worry, and as he should, because Olajuwon, even though Pastor Cal tried to put him on the shelf when he said, having dinner and having someone cook is very, very important. That's not what you said during the process, but that's what he said before he got married. That's what he said on the camera. He said that before he met her, that a home-cooked meal was very important to him. And we all heard that and all seen it. If you've been following this show, I don't know, like for me, at first I didn't have cable. And I still don't have cable. What I have is, when you have, of course, most people have internet in their home. What you have then is, I was saying, I want to get cable, but I don't want to pay an expensive price, right? And the next thing I know, I swear, these smart TVs and all this stuff, it hear you. And when all you got to do is type something on your Google or say something, I swear a commercial will come on. I swear it seemed like these TVs and stuff, they hear you just talking. And this, I don't know if it's cable, like cable, similar to cable, but it's called Philo, popped up. And it was said $25.99 a month. And I was like, $25.99 a month. And it had pretty much all the channels I watched because, OWN got all my good reality shows, Ready to Love and Fiance or Family or, Women of List of, Atlanta Women of List. I forgot, but that show was good. I need to be doing reality on that show. I might do a segment because girl power. What else? It's just so many shows on OWN. They got OWN, they got BT, they have TLC, MTV, VH1, Lifetime. They have a lot of channels that I watch. A&E, and those are my main channels that if I had cable, those would be some of the, because I used to watch 48 Hours constantly. I had to stop watching that show because it was doing too much to my mental. But still, if I get into my little, I want to see some murder mystery, I go towards A&E. So they had channels, and I just said, well, $25.99 isn't much. And then it's like a DVR situation. You can go to the channel and watch old episodes if they have them available, and you can rewind. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can play a particular episode at any given time, and that's just what I need. If I miss the Lifetime, which I do, when I miss the Lifetime on Wednesday night, I can go back to it when I get in, pop it on, watch it. You see how I can go to it now and rewind and reverse and do all the things I want to do, and it just fits me to the T. So I was really happy with Philo, and so I said, I got to keep this. If I want to know the episodes, because I was relying on YouTube last year, and I was tired of the voices not matching the words and the faces being this big in the camera. And then, I was just tired of the unbalance, because people didn't want to get striked, but they got it still in a way on YouTube where I guess YouTube was satisfied. And I was like, I gotta get some real service. so that I can keep up each day with this. And, of course, I'm going to be doing more realities because I want to get better. But yeah, back to Elijah Wan and Katina though. Sorry about that rant. And I know I'm gonna get better with holding this camera. I'm gonna get me a camera stand and some other things. But I want to thank everybody who support me if you've been watching. But I'm going to glow up. I'm continuing to do this for purposes to build my memory, build my brain, do mental gymnastics on myself, and I'm gonna keep this going even if I don't go as far as I want to go just yet. I feel like it'll come around. The more harder I go, the better I get, the more work I put into it, it will eventually come together. So yes, I see the future. Anyway, so Katina and Elijah Wan, let me tell you, Elijah Wan, he had me seeing his true colors come out. But I start to understand that he's starting to understand she's beautiful. I like her. But longevity, is this the girl for me? Is this a wife that I can depend on? And does she have the qualities that I need as a wife? Being pretty is one thing. He's had so many women he's dealt with pretty. He likes her enough, but she be looking over his shoulder when he's cooking like, I can't do this at all. I don't know how to put a spoon with a fork. That's the kind of look she be looking over his shoulder like, what are you cooking? And I don't think he see the effort in her. I think young people today are so worried about the bag and they want to be married, but it's fundamental stuff that you have to have down pat. Who didn't get that memo? A way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Who didn't get that memo? And I feel bad for these young girls who just don't even think about cooking. How could you not? You said, I even tell my son a lot. That's the son that will boil a pot of water and burn it. I taught all my children how to cook, but this particular son did not take, and he eats out a lot. And I tell him, dude, get a crock pot. Start making crock pot, but he won't. He would save so much money if he would get a crock pot and learn how to do crock pot meals. And I tell him all the time, YouTube is your friend. If you get a crock pot, he has an air fryer, which he really loves. But if he got a crock pot and made his crock pot meals while he go to work, he would save so much money and he would have leftovers. And so young people don't think about that. They just, I live in Texas, so there is a fast food on every corner. And I don't care where you go in Texas, there's about 50 fast food places that you have a selection for. And it gives you no room to say, I'm going to cook. You just say, freak it. Let me pull over to this fast food place and get something really quick. And I think that is the norm with a lot of people. Or you try these fancy restaurants. I am guilty of this, okay? So I know. I can cook, though. I can cook. I can burn, baby. But at the same time, I don't have to cook like that because I don't have a husband. Me and my daughter, we think we fancy sometimes. We like to go try new restaurants, and it's easy. So cooking is on the back burner for a lot of people. And, Elijah Wan has made it very, very clear he wants a home cooked meal and he wants a girl who can burn. He don't want some chick trying to figure it out. He don't want no nasty food coming in or something that's like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? And I don't see her putting in the effort. And I think that's a concern for Elijah Wan because, one, he knows he's going to be working hard. She said herself that he works overnight. And so when you work overnight, you don't want to come home to nothing. I remember when I was teaching my kids how to cook and I'm at work and about the time I get home, they didn't do nothing I told them to do. No food is cooked. I would go ballistic on them because I would be like, I work hard all day and, I come home and y'all don't have anything prepared. And I used to get on them because I'm like, you guys are home early enough. They got out at around 2:30, was home by 3. And I was like, you guys can cook. And if it wasn't done, I was really going nuts on them because I feel like you can prepare a meal and have it ready. I was teaching my children responsibility. And, a lot of people are not teaching their children because they don't have time. But ladies, teach your girls how to cook. Women, desire to know how to cook yourself. It's not hard. Getting on YouTube is your best friend. But getting a nice cookbook, I should show y'all. I got this cookbook that does no more than 5 ingredients. And I mean, when I say it's a million things to cook in this cookbook, and it's no punk, the stuff be like mouth watering good. I'm telling you, it's a million things to cook in this 5 ingredient cookbook. And it's just like, there are ways that you can learn how to cook easy. And, just time and preparation, she'll get better. But she's not putting in any effort. So, let me see what else concerned me with Katina. I think it was hold on. Because Katina made me mad a little being a mean girl. I'm just not with that mean girl vibe thing. I didn't appreciate how she was treating Lindsay. I didn't appreciate Jasmina snapping at Lindsay. That all was just an ugly scene and an ugly sight. Elijah Wan, he really, to me, his concerns. Can I say this? At first I thought he was trying to be a butthole, and I was like, his true colors is coming out. But when he got his haircut, I said, Elijah Wan know how to be sweet. He really does. He knows how to cater to. And that is so special because it tells me he pays attention and he's trying to please, and he's just letting her be aware that he really does respect her. And I don't know if she's not getting it. Katina's just sitting around there being cute. She really is not doing the real work. And I think Elijah Wan is seeing it, and he's second guessing their relationship based off of it. And I feel like it's a smart way to go, because a wife is forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not enough to be a pretty face and a beautiful presence. You gotta also understand wife duties. And I think, again, like I said just a minute ago, I don't think she's given enough. And so I understand Elijah Wan. And, I understand if he made a hard, conscious decision that he cannot go further with this marriage because of that. I think that's his right, because he wants someone more well-grounded, and nothing's wrong with that. He wants someone a little more seasoned. Nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think this episode was very powerful and impacting, because it really did strike a balance. It gave everyone something to see and maybe to work on and to adjust themselves to understand, you's married now. You's married now. And, no matter how much you want to think you're wrong or right in the situation, or who's wrong and who's right in the situation, at the end of the day, togetherness is all it requires. Becoming unified, becoming one, knowing how to respect one another, knowing how to, pay attention to each other's needs and wants and desires, and understanding how to support that and put that in the right place of being together. So I'm going to go through this process just like y'all, and we're going to see by the end what goes there and who's going to be who and what is going to be what. I'm not going to give my expertise opinion on who going to make it or who isn't, who's going to stay married or not, until like the episode before decision day. Then I'll give you my educated guess on who I think is going to stay married and who ain't, and we will go from there. I hope that this You know, not this life. And forget my little chair action. My little chair, I got to get my little clothes and put them up. I went shopping and, you know, I bought some towels and, you know, little outfit situation, and I just put it in the chair. So if you've seen that, you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And yep, got my mop and stuff because I'm ready to clean soon as I get off of here and do my daily duty and get started on my day and my journey. And yeah, thank you for walking with me with this episode. In the meantime and in between time, I'm still going to try to come to you with some new videos. Your girl just got to make time, but I'm not giving up. I'm going to get this right and just hang and bear in there with me. But thank you until next time. Next Wednesday, sometime maybe Friday, you will get another video of my version and my prediction of Married at First Sight. This was season 14, episode 8, Striking the Balance, and I'll see you on episode 9. Have a good one. Bye.